Okay, this week's golf course is called Tangle Creek Golf Course, and it is in Grand Prairie, Texas, which is between Dallas and Fort Worth, along the bush. It is on Joe Pool Lake, just south of I-20, so that would be southwest of Dallas. It's a 7,000 yard course from the back tees and slope 135. But in any case, here's my walking review of Tangle Creek in Grand Prairie, Texas.
I know everybody is tired of hearing me complain about playing on a course with a bunch of houses on it. So this time I found a course that had virtually no houses. It's in the middle of a park. This is down by Joe Pool Lake. And as you can see, much better. There are some houses here, but it's not like there's houses everywhere. So we'll play, this is the hole number one. And I'm sort of bringing this up because there's a ditch, a hole. See where that light tannish kind of grass is right there? You can see where those red stakes are? There is a 4-foot ditch right there. You can barely see it. See, not a house in sight. Very nice, very, very nice. Not a house anywhere near this goddamn fairway. All right, so that's number 7, looking that way. And we are stuck here behind this foursome. We're gonna have to pass already. I saw them race out when I got out of the car. So this is number 2. This is 407 with the uphill crescent right. And this course is rated 136, 7,100 yards from the back tees. Maybe 750, but close enough. It's not supposed to be easy. You can tell already just from the sand traps and the creeks and so forth that it's not easy. I don't know if it has elevated greens. But the backside is definitely elevated, so it's not like an easy course. So not like there are no houses, and it's not like it's not a tabletop green. On the left side, that's very steep, drops off. In front, you've got some swales, and there's a house barely hidden by that tree. You can see some houses way out there in the distance, and there's a house just ahead of us. Behind this tree, you can see the upper half of it. So pretty good, but not, you know, perfect, but still very challenging. It looks like gives you some room to hang yourself. Very fast greens, lots of slope. So much for this being my dream course. There's like 4. There's actually, like, look at this, a playground right behind the tee box, and number 3. And there's houses all the way down the side there, so. Yeah, so there are houses beyond that last hole on the right side. Also, they're just behind the trees. Like, you see the trees there, you could see the trees, but you couldn't really see the houses, and it was a par 3. And I just went ahead and passed those guys back there. Let him play that par 3 in peace with a young man. And so here we have a par 5 downhill, and let's see what the thing says here. Downhill, got a creek around a turn, and then there's uphill, probably green. So there's a couple of planes, but not too bad. You know, a lot of small planes probably flying around here. They tend to love golf courses also, but this looks pretty decent so far. You know, a little bit of housing fouling, but not too bad. Number 5, par 5. All right, that's a 313 yard par 4 from the back tees. Well, I like this course. They've got the electronic scoreboard, got the course map, and above all, you can see this from the tee box. A lot of courses don't have that luxury. They like to put it way down there by the white tees, or they don't even have it. But this one, you can see what you're playing into from the tee box, even in the back. And that is critical. That means you don't have to worry about the cart map, the map on the scorecard. So this is 421 par 4, number 7, uphill. Let me tell you, I had to take a break there because I was getting sunstroke for sure. It is bright, not so hot, but very bright and a little humid. Unfortunately, I guess those trees meant there were more houses there. So we are down in this divot here, about 200 out from the green. You can see the green right over there behind the trees. Way back there. Yeah, this whole line back here is houses behind those trees. You can maybe see them there, maybe. But they're certainly all the way up the fairway here. But at least they're behind a row of trees. It's not like naked right in your face. Still not good. And I am just past the green on the upslope coming up to those hills now with my 65-yard chip on a 50-yard shot. We have more houses. This is number 8, fairway going down that way. Another par 5, I guess. This is number 8. 8 there with a ditch right there. That ditch is about 300 yards. And we have this course marker to tell us. I don't know if you can see it with all the sun behind it. Probably can. Let's take a look at the environment here at the tee box. There's 1, 2, 3 car passing by, 4, 5 houses. Not too bad. Lots of woods though. This is going to be fun. What do? Hit a driver? I think we have to. It's just too much green out there for an iron. Well, I got my tee shot about 200 yards into the wind. I still have about 200 to get over that creek, so let's go for it. Shots, we made it over there. Now, trust me, if you don't think that hitting shots up there, driving and hitting long irons from up there, 200 yards, when you've got people mumbling behind you and stuff, you can hear them mumbling behind you. You don't think that's challenging, you're crazy. It just adds an extra layer of difficulty to the issue. So of course, I buried my 2-iron shot and luckily got the next one down flat and put that up there. Just buried the club. It was up above my knee high on the slope and buried it. So this is now full. All right, so here we go at the green. Nice looking green. Definitely not empty houses. There's houses like secreted in different pockets around the course. Let's see what's going on in the backside. That was a pretty fun hole. Say here is the greens are very fast, a lot of slope, and it's very easy to do something like this when you're playing off the fringe up there and you miss it by what would be a couple of feet on a normal hole, and next thing you're 10 feet out. So it's very fast, lots of slope. Definitely a good challenge, although there's a little bit dead in spots, a bit browned out. So, but pretty good overall. All right, so same house. This is number 9. There's a foursome up there ahead of me. Let's see if you can see it. It'll come in. Par 3, and that says like 205, I believe. Let's see if we can get a good look at it. Not quite. It's 4x there. Sun came back out, man. It's gotten hot, bright. It's like being broiled, seriously. It says 152 from the back tees. I don't know, man. I still have a hard time believing that's 152. Looks like more like 182 or 192. Well, we'll see. Okay, so I don't see anything on the green, and I'm pretty sure that was a 150 shot. So let's see what we got here. That's not too bad, but wo ist mein Ball? Let's see here. It was pretty straight on the pin. Oh, there it is in the back. Okay, so maybe it is 150. Right up there in the high. All right, I guess I can believe it. Okay, so number 10, we're going to the backside and stop and just stop for a minute to get a break. We'll see what the bad effect is for my lack of consistency and staying warmed up. But 438, par 4, straight away. See the flag way out there, straight away out there in that gap, the gap here. So links, wind crossing from the back left corner. Away we go. This is number 3. Whatever is easy from 200 yards is much easier from 100 yards. So now we have a 9-iron maybe into the green. 9-iron into the green, and the trick is You don't want to get greedy and go for the pin when it's in that side on the right side. It's basically just trying to get you to go there and then miss it right, and then you're off down in that swaley shit in the right. So you aim a little left, maybe left center of the green, and a little short, which is what I did. And you just don't want to go long, you don't want to go right, because that puts you in nothing but trouble. And I would call that a moderate amount of trouble. That is really not much trouble at all. You do have a chance of the ball landing softly on that mossy rough and stopping before it gets into the woods. It's not like all of this is bad to hit out of. This is actually a moderately difficult hole approach for that reason. All right, so this is 11 par 4, slight crescent right and 335. And all right, so this is 12, number 12 par 3, 168 from the back tees, and I've got a small plane right behind me, coming up, straight up the fairway next to me to the left. Freaking damn small planes love these golf courses. And he is about 350, maybe 500 feet above me to the left. So, third small plane. So anyway, here, let's look at this hole. Now we've got a lot of peril to the left over there and a sand trap behind it, and a lot of green back over there to the left, but you don't want to go anywhere over there near that green. I'd say golf is really all about, first and foremost, how to hit where you aim the ball. Second, how to hit as far as you aim it. And third, not to shank it. Learn not to either top it or shank it or spin it. Those are the third things. Well, I don't know if we're ever going to shut up here. 13 par 5, 501, dogleg left. We got somebody out in front of me here, so I might get a break. Wow, that's pretty nice. This is a nice course. It's not the hardest course. It's not super easy. You know, a good amount of woods without being overly wooded. Nice course. There's severe peril over to the right. That's that dogleg right par 4 with a creek there, and there's nothing but waste over here to the left. So definitely want to just hit out there and stay in plane, get out. Lucky as hell, I hit this high, very soft fade. It was over those trees over there, and then it came back over and just drifted down and hit that tree and bounced forward, of all things, forward. It's amazing. Either that or hit that tree right there and bounce back. Just the luckiest shot I've ever seen. Now we have a chance to get out there. Those guys are way up there. Let's see what happens. All right, so that last one, number 14, was easy enough. A drive and a 9-iron to the front of the green. And this is 452 par 4. Always a challenge. Anything over 400 yards, always a challenge to get on into. So let's see what happens here. All right, so dead center about 200 out. And that is going to be a challenge. We're about 225 out off the fairway to the right, about 5 yards on this short rough, but into the wind. That is going to be a tough iron for me. This is where I'm looking at like a 3-iron or a 5-iron, 4 maybe, I don't know, something. 3-iron's a little bit too flat. 4-iron is, I don't know, I've never played one. Got almost a perfect 2-iron. It was just off the right on the left side of that sand trap, way in the back. Behind the green, and it's going to be up in front. I don't think it's going to be on. That was one of the better iron shots I've ever hit, literally. Solid 230. Another 20 yards would have been there. So this is 16, it's 404. Sort of like an S-shaped little hook at the end. And there's a 150 marker straight ahead, and just to the left of the trees, the green is back there, and there's a pond about 325. Can't really see it. We got lucky, bounced off the hill here without going into the trees, and you can see the green back there, the pins in the back corner. Barely see it. That's about 200 from here. I'm just off over there, and there's a sucker shot into that back corner, so we're going to just pitch up and putt in. That is my conservative pitch. We're all the way over across the green, way past the pin. Okay, finally we have a decent par 3, 190 from the back pin out to that front pin up there. This should be fun. Let's see if you can see it there. There you go. Well, the first one I played a little bit left. I don't usually hit irons 190. Usually we'll play a driver. So I went ahead and played a 4-iron this time just to see what happened. First one I got lucky, and it did actually play over. And I really never hit an iron over 175 on a par 3. I usually hit a driver and just hit a cut shot on a driver, and this time I just got lucky and got them both. That's not true, especially over water. I usually will play a driver instead. But at least to 175 I might hit an iron, but anything 175 and longer I'll probably hit a wood, especially if with water I'll just get it back here. I got lucky and got both those 4s. Okay, so 18 finishing up. We've got a 521 yard par 5. And there's supposed to be a lake out in front of here, and it looks like there's a lake off the tee at least. And it's a crescent right. I can see sand all the way back there, right past the edge of the trees. The green, I take it, is over there to the right. There's a 150 yard marker. So the challenge is going to be to get out there past that sand trap that's right there in the front and get in close to the right, not be out to the left, and not go into trees. To record this, I hit a pretty good drive. I thought it was going to easily make it over, and it just got up there and stalled, and it didn't even make the far side where the right fairway is. It got stuck and dropped about 20 feet in from the far side. So the trouble is going to be making the lake now, not just making a trap. That was it, folks. 6 balls into the lake. Had to go back to my old grip, and then I put it up there at the far edge of that little part in the far back. Got another 20-30 yards out of it. 6 balls, they all got hung up in the wind. There's the slightest breeze. Went back to my power grip. It's a little bit less precise than my current grip, and rolled it right over first ball. And that is why I play from the back tees, right there. Because it makes me hit good shots from the tee box. Let's try this again and do some math first. I had my second shot, technically, the one that laid up on the left edge of the sand trap back there. And I hit it and lost it somewhere off to the right of the sand trap there at the far edge, probably in the woods. I didn't see it go in, but it's really flat down there. Everything's matted down, and I just lost it. I'm going to try it again, but let's do some math first. So this is a par 5. And it is 521, so right about where the 521 is should be 280. Now, the edge of the lake is at least half, almost half of that. It's 275. The sand trap, the top of the sand trap, is at least 290, almost 300. So I should be able to hit somewhere between the top of the lake at 275 and the top of the sand trap at 300. Now, my normal drive is about 225, 230, which is why I wasn't quite making the far edge of the lake. I didn't do the math first on that, and that was a problem. Not to mention I'm hitting into the wind. But when I hit my power grip, I got to 250, 260 at least to the far edge of the lake, and got about to the middle of the sand trap, which is about 270. So I want to try that again and see if I can do it on one shot. The goal is to get across the lake over there by that sand trap at least 260. If I get to the top of the sand trap, that's 300 in one shot. Okay, so out of 9 balls, I got 6 in the lake. Not even close to getting, well, one was kind of close to getting over, but it went way back in the back where the wood is, right in the center. One I got another 30 yards past that, so it's short of the sand trap, but it's right behind the wood. Another one I got to the left of the sand trap, but halfway up the sand trap. And one I put way over there with a duck hook off to the left where that sand trap is on the left. So not an easy shot to clear that lake, even though it looks close. It's not. One that was right about there and one there, so it was about 10 yards behind it. And one that was laterally over there in that center of those two swales. And the other ones were, you know, one was maybe 10 yards off the back, but the other ones were at least 20 to 30 yards out in the lake, the first 5. And then I had to switch grips, and then I could get it back here. So I'm taking the back of that sand trap that's 300 from the back tees. That's it, folks. 18, good hole.
I'm having a little compression issue where there's just too much positivity in my reviews. Some of these courses really shouldn't get Bs. I think the course I rated last week, which was just flooded with houses, should be a C course also. And it is actually a pretty nice course. I enjoyed playing it. It was a pretty good challenge. I think it was almost a very good course in the sense that it was a nice layout. It was a challenging course. Course was in good condition. Greens, I'd say, were in pretty good condition. Not the greatest, but decent. There were a few dead spots on most of the greens, but generally fast and smooth, and lots of slope. And it was hard to stop the ball near the pin. I had a lot of 3 putts. Just really a challenge, but around the greens there was a lot of mossy rough, plenty of space to land around the greens, often some hills and bumps and stuff to keep the ball near the green, and generally not a lot of peril near the greens. As long as you didn't go more than, say, 20 yards away from the green, you were probably okay. No waste or anything around the green, so pretty straightforward, not even elevated for the most part. Just really a modest challenge around the greens. It just had a few too many houses in too many places. Certainly, like number 8 tee box especially, I think was the worst case. To also just a little bit too much in terms of houses. I just don't like playing tees where there's a house or a bunch of houses sitting right there. Certainly egregious cases of housing fouling. But other than that, the course in the most part was pretty good, and I liked it. Had a good time playing it. It was a good challenge, and I certainly have to rate it a B, strong B, with only the housing really bringing it down from a B+. That's Tangle Ridge Golf Course in Grand Prairie, Texas.